Hello, COS students. Welcome to the Sequoia Voice. I'm your host, Diego Castro, and I'm here with a special guest, Jordan Calson. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Diego. Thank you for having me on.
No problem, man. It's always a good day to do a podcast, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, on today's subject, we're going to be talking about the election. I know a lot of people are sensitive in this area, and we're going to try our best not to offend anyone. We just want to state how we view about it. So what do you think is going on right now? How do you feel about the election, after the election?
You know, just a whole bunch of craziness. If anything, this election has shown how divided we still are. And I think it's, no matter who would have won this race, I think it's just going to take years to unite the country in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, this has definitely been a very sensitive election. People are very tense.
Most definitely.
And yeah, it's crazy. I've never seen anything like this before.
Definitely the most remember. I can't say words right. It's definitely the most rememberable election this year.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think I've seen more. This is the most ads that I've seen for candidates.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it's just constant, like boom, boom, boom. Like it's yeah.
It was kind of difficult to almost choose a side because it's like, okay, what's real and what's not.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of, I don't know. I stopped watching, personally, I stopped watching major news networks, at least ones that lean, like I don't watch Fox News or CNN because those are both very biased. And honestly, like these days, like I usually look towards like international news stations to get because that's the only way that it seems like people can get an unbiased opinion.
Yeah.
Or
I agree with you actually. I go on Fox and CNN and it's just like a different spectrum with both of them. It's crazy.
Yeah, if you watch them side by side, like they're both completely opposite. They're telling Fox and CNN tell the same story, but it's like they both want to be right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of distorting the truth a little bit because I don't think either side has it right, to be completely honest. But
yeah, no, I agree with you. It's just a lot of unknown information that we don't know yet. That's why we're still taking time to do so we know for sure if the counts are right and the presidency is true, because a lot of people, I know they voted for Trump and they're upset that Joe Biden won, but we're still trying to figure that out, I believe. That's what's going on. That's at this point.
Yeah, and you know, I gotta say, as someone who did vote for Trump this time around, in the past I have voted for Democrat candidates. I would have to say this time around, like losing was much easier. Like I felt like, I don't know, I was like the past two elections, I would define myself as embarrassing because of my reaction.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with you. Both candidates were definitely. I don't want to say something, so I'm just going to say this is just my opinion. No one has to take it, but I think they were very childish. Both candidates going back and forth bickering. And it's just like these guys, they have to represent us as a country, and it just makes us look like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, and I feel like it's really crazy because they're like, I don't know if you've been paying attention to much to like social media, but they're like everybody's talking about, you know, time to heal, but there's still like so much like bickering from both sides, and so it's hard to imagine like when they're saying time to heal, do they really mean be quiet and just agree with us, or really like let's compromise, let's stop the partisanship, let's be bipartisan and work solutions out together to help people.
Yeah. A lot of people think this should be a time for healing, especially right now. We're in the middle of a pandemic. But a lot of people, because of this, want to, on the Democrat side, want to brag about the victory of Joe Biden, and I get it. It's just, we haven't had something this good in a while, but it's kind of overboard. I mean, you saw the celebration on the streets, right, on social media,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, you have time to brag and rub it in their faces, but you're not concerned about the people, about their health right now, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and something I've also noticed is that the mainstream media hasn't, like, they haven't brought up that meeting, like celebrating like this. Like, yeah, you can celebrate, you're free to do that, but if you look at it a certain way, these rallies for Joe Biden could potentially be super spreader events, because we're still in a global pandemic. It hasn't gone away. It's not going to magically just disappear. And so we are still very much in a pandemic, and it just seems a little hypocritical that the pandemic is mysteriously gone now that we have a new president-elect.
It's just a bunch of crazy people right now, and but I understand that some people have to find something to rely on, and I know this is like the biggest thing since like ever right now, and I know a lot of families can't celebrate with a family because they're inside all the time. They have to stay inside, and this presidency just riled them up. That's literally what it did. It riled them up. It made people think about what is the future going to be like, and people are scared of that. People are scared that things are going to change, but that's human nature, and we have to change for the better or for the worse. And right now, they're not exactly helping.
No, definitely not. I honestly don't. I can't imagine how this whole division is going to end. I don't even know if it ever will end.
Mhm.
But I heard the president-elect by the media, everybody on the left is saying, "Suck it up." So it's like there's no meeting in the middle, and I hope someday we can learn to be less biased with our politics.
Oh yeah. It's just, I wish there could be a middle ground. I really do. Just like where we can just talk like normal people instead of treating this like it's a full-on religion. Like, I don't want to say anything, but that's how it feels like sometimes. This is like, politics is important. I'm not denying it. Politics is very important for us because that's how we function as a country. But some people take it too far and too literal, and we need to be human beings about it. We need to talk normally. We can't go overboard, and if we do that, I feel like we can meet somewhere in the middle, so we're not always fighting about who's right or who's wrong, because that doesn't matter in the end. It really doesn't. It's just a fight between two people who may or may not be the best candidates of our year, and I don't know if that's the fact.
See, like, here's the thing. I normally probably would have voted
What I
Democrat.
view about the Democratic Party is that it's okay. They're trying to pass fairer laws for everyone for a better future, but the way that Biden's going about it is probably not the best way. He wants to do an economic plan for people and families who were affected by COVID, but by doing that, we're going to waste a lot more money and resources, and it's just going to be impossible to recover after that, because he wants to fund smaller businesses. And I get it, that smaller businesses they're awesome. Some of them are cool. They're the best. You can do whatever, but I honestly think it's not the best way to go about it. That's just my opinion.
Wait, are you referring to relief for small businesses affected by COVID?
Yeah,
How why would you be opposed to that?
because I feel like the time should go into the research for an actual vaccine instead of relieving smaller businesses. Because at this point, I don't know if we can relieve smaller businesses because our economic stance right now isn't.
Are there currently any Democrat Congress people that you are a fan of?
No, not really. If I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of them I just don't personally like because of how they stand for. They're kind of, those people that just kind of like hang by their side and be like, oh, I support you. A lot of the Democrats are just kind of like that. They're just like kind of like backstabbers almost. But I don't want to say personally they're backstabbers in real life. But I'm pretty sure they're trying to do their best to get into the presidency or vice presidency, which I don't blame them. I mean, it's really hard, especially with your ethnic color.
Wait, who are you talking about? Wait, whose color?
Kamala Harris.
Oh, okay. See, I completely just. Oh wait, so do you mean like? Do you feel that she was elected because of the color of her skin?
I don't want to say, but I feel like that might be the point because it's just like I just don't really like her personality. I really don't.
Yeah. So that's a great segue. I'm glad you mentioned that because I got a lot to Kamala Harris, but I'm just gonna keep most of my mouth closed. But the main thing that I don't really care for Kamala Harris about is her sketchy record as an attorney. She is well known in the medical cannabis community for locking up Black and brown people. It's all over the internet, but it's getting harder to find. I'm having trouble finding certain articles about that. But yeah, I've never really been a fan of her just because she locked Black people away for smoking a joint, but then she went on some talk show laughing about how she was listening to Tupac and smoking weed. And I'm like, no, like, first of all, you're too old. Like, Tupac is younger than you. Mm-hmm. Like, you guys were not around. Like, you weren't, like, she claimed she was in college when Tupac released his first album, but he didn't release his first album until, like, the 90s. She was in college in the 80s. So it's, I don't know. And just, for me, Kamala Harris is, like, Hillary Clinton 2.0.
Yeah. I want to say, yeah, definitely.
She is, it's okay for you to say it. She most certainly is Hillary Clinton 2.0. And I voted for both of them. I voted for Kamala Harris for, Attorney General in 2010. And then I was guilted into voting for Hillary Clinton in 2016. And I'm still kind of not over, I'm not beating myself up about it for voting for Hillary anymore.
Yeah.
But it's something that I am most certainly disappointed in myself for doing so.
Yeah. And it's not your fault. It's honestly not your fault. It's these people that we have to choose that we don't want at all to be in office, but we have to choose who's going to be the best overall. What
the election of Donald Trump has taught everybody was that Washington needed to change, and people were tired of the same crap, and that's just how Donald Trump came into office. I don't think very many people wanted Hillary Clinton to be in office, and to be completely honest with you, yes, Donald Trump is leaving office, but I'm glad it's him leaving office instead of Hillary Clinton. I'm really happy that it's Donald Trump that appointed 3 Supreme Court justices instead of Hillary Clinton, because, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I personally feel that if Hillary Clinton won the election, I feel like we would have gotten into some sort of major conflict with another country, like either China or North Korea, or just, I don't know, wherever she likes to stick her fingers in.
I totally agree though. Like, Hillary was the worst. I couldn't vote that year. Like, I wasn't old enough yet. But but I felt like she was trying too hard to like become one of the newer generation, like to connect with the newer generations, and it just really showed. And I felt like she would do anything just to get approval, and I don't want a person that just wants to do anything to impress the people just to get a vote.
Yeah, have you heard of Hillary's hot sauce comment?
Oh yeah.
Like it's all over the internet. Like what you have in your purse, and she's like hot sauce. If I would have been like one of those people that were interviewing her, I would have been, pull it out right now, prove that you actually carry hot sauce and you're not pandering to black people. What are your feelings about the results of the election, and like kind of how like Trump hasn't conceded yet?
Yeah. How I feel about the election, the 2020 election, very confused. I'm very confused. It's just like, I get it that the people, the social media announced Biden to be the winner, but then Donald Trump is going against all this and asking, I believe he's going to ask for a revote, I want to say, for one of the states. I don't know which one it is, but
yeah, I actually have that information right here. So I think he is trying to get a recount in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Nevada and Arizona.
Yeah.
And so if he were to win those states, he would win the election.
Yes, I totally agree. He wouldn't win the election if he got those countries over. And I'm not saying that it could be conspiracy, but it's just it's really hard to determine right now, especially with what's going on with the counting of the votes. And it took them a whole week to count all the votes.
Yeah, something insane. Like this is the first time ever that I voted that something like this has had to happen. Like the whole night of the election, I felt like I had heart palpitations because like the results should have been given to us that night. Like I stayed up for the whole entire night, like refreshing, just hoping, to get some kind of clear outcome. And the media is saying Joe Biden is president-elect, which so far right now as he is, but I guess it's kind of controversial to say it, but he's not actually president until Inauguration Day.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, that's what people want to oversee that. They don't care if it's not official or not. They know that he won, but it's not official until the inauguration.
Yeah, so Donald Trump is still president. I mean, a lot of people seem to think otherwise.
Yes, he is still president.
I mean, a president is elected to 4 years and not 3.
Overall, this year, 2020, the election, it was great. A lot of people fought for what they believe for. I'm behind the people. I'm with the people. And if they really think that Joe Biden is the perfect choice for an election, then okay, that's fine by me. I just wish there would have been a better choice to represent our country. That's just my opinion and my overall view.
Yeah, it's not going to be official until January 2021, but there's going to be, when Trump leaves office, there's just going to be something I'm going to miss about him. These past 4 years have been like a reality show, and I'm all for it. I'm amused by it. I think, he's got a crazy, beautiful wife, which, I wish I was that attractive. But I'm hoping, I wish Joe Biden well, and I also wish I had his teeth. Like, he's got some expensive looking teeth.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for coming on today for our podcast, Jordan. I really appreciate you for your time. And thank you for the viewers of COS. See you next time on the Sequoia Voice.